Just play the damn thing.
Okay. Thank you all very much for watching the last couple of videos that I've uploaded, because you guys have responded, and as predicted, there has been some amazing gems left in the comments section, which is what this video is all about. So, without further ado, let's read some comments, shall we? Love your videos, but once every other video, your guitar is so horribly out of tune, it hurts. Yeah, but, you know, the truth is, I'm kind of hesitant to do anything about it. Because it's, you know, watching the comments section get flooded with comments from people who are just, you know, flat out just haven't, you know, are too stupid to realize when they're being trolled is just absolutely hilarious to me. I am way too much of an individualist and traditionalist to ever play a guitar or some piece of gear with some other guitar player's name on it. I'll stick with my Les Paul Standard, thank you very much. I'm an individualist. I ain't never gonna play somebody else's guitar. I got myself one of them Les Paul Gibsons. Seriously, who wants to tell him? Yeah, Jimi Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen must laugh all the way to the bank. Not anymore, they're both dead. I've learned about amps watching your reviews. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. However, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I tell anybody that is, you know, considering my opinion. For God's sakes, do not take my word for it. Take your word for it. Try it and play it for yourself. You know, if you may see me making fun of something, you may see me talking trash about something, you may see that I'm real high on a particular piece of gear and find that it doesn't work for you at all. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, my opinions on gear, you know, really my entire channel really is certainly not gospel. You know, it's meant to provide information. I do that to the best of my ability. It's, you know, sometimes it's hard to keep my opinions out of it than others. You know, but seriously, I encourage you, even if you see me trashing something, do your own research. Go try it for yourself and determine if you agree with me or not. The EVH Frankie wasn't a signature guitar, and it was never advertised as one. It did not cost $2,000 either. You might want to look into that in the future if you care about your channel. I'm going to address a few things here. First of all, you mean to tell me that this here guitar with a price tag of $1999.99 on it does not cost $2,000? The penny, I think, is semantics. You mean to tell me that this guitar here that's not designed to look identical to Eddie's original Frankenstein guitar that he built back in the 70s is not a signature guitar? You're out of your mind. Dude, don't get me wrong here. The EVH Frankie is a tribute guitar, not a signature model, as this is exactly what the artist plays, and now you can buy one yourself. It was a tribute, never a signature. I have one because I like Van Halen. I paid 1,300 euros for the guitar with a case. Please don't call me a dipshit. I like your channel and your attitude towards stuff like this. I merely wanted to point out the difference between signature and tribute. I am in no way bashing your approach on your vids. On your channel, I subscribed for a reason here. Alright, I'll man up. I apologize for calling you a dipshit. However, it was the part about you suggesting that I don't care about my channel that really pisses me off. I work hard at this thing. I put in a lot of hours on my own time and spend a lot of my own money on all of this, you know, all this equipment and stuff that I use to produce videos every single week. You know, don't give me any bullshit about how I don't care about my own channel. To suggest otherwise, quite frankly, is a rather dipshitted comment. Have you ever played a Frankie? If not, your review is misunderstood. If you have, then that's your opinion. How do you explain the huge number of sales, the pre-orders after the first run sold out? I own one that looks and plays above its pay grade. If you gig with it, that's why you have more guitars to change to for other songs. Everyone in the crowd loves to see and hear the Frankie. Then, when it's time to play some ZZ Top, you pull out the R9. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. So you mean to tell me you walked into a guitar shop, saw that piece of shit hanging on the wall, and said, I think I'm going to give that thing a try, and I'm going to pay $2,000 for it, assuming it plays good? No, You were drawn to it because it's an Eddie Van Halen guitar, and it looks like Eddie Van Halen's original guitar, and you like Eddie Van Halen. Nothing wrong with that, but don't give me any bullshit about how you bought that $2,000 butt plug because it plays well. Especially if you have the money to switch to a Murphy Lab R9 as you mentioned further down in this thread. If you're not familiar with a Murphy Lab 59 Les Paul reissue, they start at about $8,000. Nowadays, they're about $12,000 to $15,000, depending on how heavy of a relic you might be paying for. They're about $20,000 if it's a signature model. And if it happens to be a signed signature model, then you're talking about $25,000 or $30,000. If you've got that kind of money, don't give me any bullshit about you paying $2,000 for the Frankie because it played well. The pickups on Jimi Hendrix Strat are reversed as well, and pull pieces are reversed as well. I have a Mexican-made one. It's the best Strat I've ever owned, and for this, I dislike your video. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Do me a favor. Don't forget to click the dislike button down there in the bottom of the video. Reason why is because YouTube actually views likes and dislikes the same. And that, along with your comment on my video, still goes a long way towards boosting my analytics. Every time I see that silly face you make at the beginning of your video, I have to pause the video long enough to cop a nut. Okay. Why not just go Kiesel and get value? Well, here's the thing. While I do not disagree that Kiesels are high-quality instruments, what they're not is inexpensive or affordable for a lot of people. Even scouring the used market, the cheapest I could find one was $899. Most of the rest of them start around $1,200 and go up from there. If you're finding Kiesels in the affordable, like under $500 range, by all means, let me know where they are because I want to buy one. But I searched everywhere. I couldn't find one for anywhere near that price point. Next time you do a list like this, you need to be wearing some S&M gear for all the butthurt you're dishing out. Why? That's what viewer comments videos are for. Let's be real. Fender and Gibson know they're selling these to venture capitalists, doctors, attorneys, and midlife crisis mode, not guitarists. In reference to signature guitars, not true. Because a lot of the guitars, particularly the ones that were on my list in that video, most of those are actually import guitars. Import signature guitars, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 these days is not uncommon. Matter of fact, that's very common. Venture capitalists, doctors, the people that you mentioned, aka blues lawyers, they ain't messing with import guitars made in Mexico and Indonesia. Trust me. Nope. Those people are buying the really, really high-end American-made, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 stuff. Because they can. What do you think of the new Bruno Mars Fender Stratocaster? I think I've seen him play guitar, but can't remember if he's a shredder or a strummer type player. Dig the Esteban thumbnail. Well, thank you I'm glad you enjoyed the thumbnail in that video. A lot of people actually mentioned the Bruno Mars signature Strat in the comments section of that video. Honestly, I wasn't even aware of it until I started reading those comments. I had no idea that he had a signature Strat. Apparently, it just came out fairly recently. It looks pretty cool. I think I saw it about $3,000, so that's a high end one. I'm assuming. I didn't dig too much into it. Looks like it's made in the U.S. It looked pretty cool to me. I didn't see anything about it that just completely turned me off. That said, I'm kind of a closet Bruno Mars fan because I think he's a ridiculously talented artist. I think he's probably the closest thing to Michael Jackson that we've had since Michael Jackson. Who obviously was a big influence of Bruno Mars. A guy like him, the dude don't play the Super Bowl halftime show if he doesn't, if he doesn't have something good about him. So, okay, that theory's been disproved plenty in the past as well, but in this case, it's true. Your thoughts on the Jimmy Strat are painfully obvious now that I think about it, but I've never thought about it before. They're sort of gentrifying left-hand culture, but dumbing it down for righties because we just don't need the hassle of the controls being on the wrong side of the guitar and in our way. Yes, but here's the thing. Jimi Hendrix, number one, he played off-the-rack guitars. Literally. He played, played a standard production model Fender Strat, right-handed Fender Stratocaster. Flipped the nut over, strung it upside down because he's left-handed, and that's how he played guitar. He actually preferred the controls on the wrong side and the tremolo arm on the wrong side because for him, they were easier for him to get to for whatever reason. And they stayed out of the way of of his playing. But on the current Fender Jimi Hendrix signature Strat, that's not the case. The controls and the the trim arm and all that stuff are actually on the correct side of the guitar for a right-handed guitar player. It's basically just got a reverse headstock and a flipped over bridge pickup in it, and that's all that it's got. That's the only thing, aside from maybe the Olympic white color, that resembles, an actual Jimi Hendrix Strat. And that, honestly, is where I take issue with that guitar. I got an Yngwie Strat in 2009, worth every penny. I actually love the Yngwie Strat, man. I would love to have that guitar. I've played them several times, especially back when I was a manager at Guitar Center. We bought it. We bought and sold several used ones, and I love the way that those things play. I get why Yngwie scallops his fretboards. I've never played any other guitar out there that plays like an Yngwie Strat. Now that said, I get the thing that does scare me about owning one of those is I'm afraid I'm going to want all of my guitars to play that way, and I'm not going to play any of my others. So. I don't know. I guess maybe that's one reason why I've never gotten a hold of one. But I'm with you, man. Of all the Fender Signature model guitars out there, the Yngwie Strat is one of my very favorites. I'd rather you just keep the pictures of the guitars up rather than looking at stupid sports paraphernalia. So look, I know that this is a guitar channel, but I'm also a sports fan, and if my quote unquote sports paraphernalia bothers you. If you seriously take issue with that, if you seriously take issue with how I, the decor inside my own house, if that seriously bothers you, I don't think your problem's with me, bro. Alright, so that was it. That was the last comment. By all means, please continue to keep your comments going, either down in this video or in future videos or past videos or whatever. I promise you, I may not respond to all of them, but I absolutely read every single one that comes in. Every single one. I promise it really does mean the world to me. And the truth is, the majority of the comments that come in are for some really, really cool people, that have some really constructive things to say. I just talk about the ones that aren't in that category in these videos because, let's face it, those are the fun ones to talk about. Because there's a lot of dipshits out there, and if you follow this channel for any length of time, it is my civic duty to call out the dipshits of the world. Have a good day, everybody. Adios.